So Morgan, tell us, who was the Bookworm Bandit?
She transitioned at the age of 40 while living here in Edmonton. And she had some understanding of who she was much earlier in her life, as many of us do, but didn't necessarily have the vocabulary to describe it until she was in her later teens and was reading articles about this sort of thing. But that would have been late 60s, early 70s. So she felt that trying to repress that would have been the best bet for her at the time. But then in 1990, at the age of 40, she made the decision that she couldn't deal with this anymore and decided to go through with a transition. And so that took place over the course of about 3 years. And she had a 20-year construction career behind her, and she had earned a very respected managerial position. But afterwards, she found that all of those doors were closed. It was the 1990s. Employment discrimination was still very much legal. We didn't have legal protections on the basis of gender identity and expression until 2015 here in Alberta. And so she tried to start a business. That ended up failing. She engaged in survival sex work for a while, but that was terrifying. And so she felt that she was pushed to a certain limit and decided that banks, they're large insured institutions. She's not actually, in her mind, she wasn't actually victimizing an individual. This was a large corporation. It was a drop in the bucket. And so she went into a bank on 104th Avenue here in Edmonton. It was the Bank of Montreal, and produced a receipt book which had her demands written on it. And that started a spree of about 31 bank robberies over a year and a half from BC to Ontario, netting about $75,000 roughly in the currency of the day.
It's interesting to balance kind of the crimes that Christine committed here.
It is a difficult balance, and especially in retellings, because we have to be very mindful of the audience we're speaking to. Some audiences, they're going to walk away from it with this kind of, underdog Robin Hood type story in their head, and other people are going to be far more critical. So it's always that necessity of survival is something we always try and stress.